Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Slow Customs. And in today's episode we have Pug and the Works Unit Coach from Tobias and the Arcane Merchant. So we're going to start with Pug first. So after about a year, about 2 years ago, I had made my Ginty, and I had always planned to make a Pug, but I didn't get around to it. So now, after nearly 2 years, I have finally made a Pug. I'm really proud of how he came out, and he looks like so nice. So yeah, we'll start with his front here. So the front is pretty simple, honestly. The running board is a piece of balsa wood that was cut down and just stuck onto the chassis, which I believe is a cut down bash chassis. I could be wrong about that though. The wheels are Hank wheels, just cause that's all I really had. So yeah, the buffers on him are just pieces of cardboard cut down and stuck on. I added them to the back as well, so yeah, anyway. The face I gave him was a Take and Play Percy face. I followed Traxy or Trackyard, or I don't know what he's called anymore, but I followed some guy's tutorial somewhat, and I honestly just like the face, so I decided just to do what he did and give it a Take and Play Percy face. So yeah, that's just the Percy face with modified eyebrows to differentiate it from, obviously, the Percy. So yeah. The boiler for him is fairly simple. It did go through like 2 iterations, but it is made up of, obviously, cardboard, but there is kind of like a tool holder thing. I don't know. It's like, it was for a like tap thing where I could like use my hammer to tap stuff out of place or like make indents. I don't know. It was like a long rod with that thinned out at the top. Anyway, so the holder had kind of like an arch thing, and it yeah, so I've had that holder for like 3 years now. I don't know, ever since I got my tool stuff, and I kind of forgot about it, but then I found it at the back of my drawer. So anyway, I cut that up and glued it onto, I believe, another piece of balsa wood. I don't know, I can't really tell because of the darkness. But I glued it onto a piece of cardboard or balsa wood to give it the height that had a stroke there, that it needed. And then I used, I believe, Pepsi box? I don't remember. It was a thin piece of cardboard, but I used probably a Pepsi box to cover the gap for 1 and 2 to make sure that the boiler looked smooth. Or the saddle tank looked smooth. So I think that came out pretty good. The lining is pretty much just what I did for my Ginty, just to keep it in unison. I only did the saddle tank lining just because, one, I was also copying what the other guy did in the tutorial thing, and I honestly kind of like the simplistic look. It fits Pug. Anyway, the British Rail symbol is the same, obviously, as Ginty. Not much to say. I think, yeah, this side is better than the other. I don't know if you can really see it, because for some reason my camera doesn't want to focus. Anyway, the dome for him is a Lego 1x1 round stud. I use like a ton of them for customs and all that, so not too surprising. His funnel came off of a custom that I did of a Take and Play Quincy. I don't really use that as much. That was more of just kind of like a boredom thing. Why not make a Take and Play Quincy? So I just decided just to take the funnel off of that. So yeah. Pug's cab, I believe it was a Thomas cab. I don't know, honestly. Yeah, actually, it was a Thomas cab because it had a little hole at the back. Yeah, so his cab is taken off of a 2003 Thomas, I think. I don't know. Anyway, so that was glued onto the balsa wood first, and then the boiler was glued onto that, I should have mentioned, too. The window cutout, honestly, pretty simple. I like how it turned out, though. It's actually pretty proportionate, so... like I showed before, back buffers, same construction as the front. And yeah, black is just the standard black that I use for all my customs. So yeah, honestly, not too much to say about Pug. I mean, for what it's worth, he's pretty simple. Yeah, I really like how it turned out. Now we'll move on to the works coach. So the coach was finished like on the first day of the year. So I've had this guy for like a month now. And I haven't gotten around to doing a video on him, so my bad. Anyway, so the main body for the coach, I believe, is it's just an off-brand coach that I had. I think I actually showed this in a video. I think it was, I think it was in that the alternate or ultimate SlowCustoms with Alfred. Yeah, I think it's one of the those narrow gauge coaches. So I just took that. It didn't have a roof, so I had to make one with cardboard, which was actually fairly simple. So I just wrapped the cardboard over top, and then I used masking tape to smooth it all over. So yeah. Now for the intricate part, which is the lining. As like beautiful as it is on the actual render, it's honestly kind of hard to replicate. So curse you tines. Anyway, I really think the yellow lining came out really good though. I was actually kind of surprised that I was able to get the dots actually looking pretty decent. The dots are supposed to represent like little stars that go around, and then that's supposed to be the moon, and that's supposed to be the sun. So I suppose I should say spoiler warning for the movie, because this is kind of a key part of it. I won't say anything that relates to it, but yeah, go watch the movie. It's honestly worth it. Anyway, so that's just done in my standard yellow, which honestly I think came out really nice. I really like how the yellow turned out. The windows are pretty much the same. The doors are a little bit skinnier than I probably would have wanted. But otherwise, it actually looks pretty good for scale. So, yeah. The front and the back are pretty much the same, with the two windows on the side, or on each side, and then the lining in the middle. So, yeah. Buffer beams also the same thing. I think actually this side came out better, to be honest. Just it looks a bit cleaner, in my opinion, so yeah. There's also a big gap up here, because that's supposed to represent, like, the gap underneath the roof, because on the actual render, the roof has, like, a bit of an overhang up there. So, yeah, that's just supposed to represent that, so, yeah. The black line down here is just supposed to kind of separate a little bit and not make the coach look so, like, tall or, like, thick or, I don't know, too much that. So, yeah. Honestly, I want to say simple just for the construction, but the main part that took the longest was definitely the sides there. Just because they look so good. Like, I mean, look at that. They really look pretty, good. Oh, goodness. Camera's all buggy now. Ugh, I still have to figure this new phone out. Anyway, so that is the works coach and my Pug. I hit the camera there. Whoops. I am honestly really proud of how these turned out. I really like them, especially Pug. So yeah. Anyway, so a little bit of update of the channel, I guess. I do have The Great Horses of the East Part 2 in production. I just have to get around to actually narrating it. And then after that, it'll probably be another SlowCustoms and then another story that I finished today. It's not the best. It could definitely use some work, but it's a good story nonetheless. So can't wait to show that, or can't wait to give it to you guys to listen to, and yeah. With that, I think that'll wrap up this video. So, I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.